who I am. This is what I do. This is who I am. I'm the living proof. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is who I am. Who the fuck are you?
Hey, yo, everybody. Welcome back to EAF. I am Dina Kozak, also known as Joel's sister. And this is my co-host, Joel Richardson of Soul Joel Productions. And Soul Joel's, every time, if you guys are just listening, it's because I point in the opposite direction to him on screen. If you're checking us out on Facebook or YouTube, but if you're just listening, that's what I just did. And this is EAF, and we do tips for entrepreneurs surviving and thriving. And this week, we are going to give you a couple quick tips before we bring our guests in on social media presence. Now, Joel, you have been Facebooking since 1982.
Hilarious.
Yeah. You've been promoting yourself online. That is primarily how you have built your business. I have an Instagram. I have a Facebook page. As far as work goes, I don't do a ton of that. I do more like I'd mail my people magazines and that kind of stuff. But what we're seeing right now, and you can attest to that promoting yourself on with a very, limited marketing budget. If you want to go grassroots, if you're like, I want to start my own business, I want to get out in front of people, I don't want to mail stuff to their house, it's not environmentally friendly, you would suggest that a social media platform is the way to do it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for over 10 years, I've been using social media because it's free. And, right now being in the entertainment business, people need laughter more than anything during this pandemic. And so people are loving the jokes that we post online and the videos, all the content that we're putting out there. And that way, we're coming up in their news feeds, whether it's my personal page or one of our business pages. And, they can subscribe to Soul Joel TV and our Soul Joel's Comedy Club and Lounge, where tonight we're actually, or last week, I should say, we're doing our first Zoom show. So it's a fundraiser for Royals for first responders. And, we're trying to engage everyone to come and join us.
Okay. So, yeah. So you have just, marketed yourself to people all over. You do a little bit of Facebook ads, but you just make sure that you are consistent. So if people, are looking to make sure it's pretty, which is why you have the wonderful Joey St. John. We always got to plug the wonderful Joey St. John in there.
Shout out to Joey.
He makes great videos. He makes great graphics for you. It's really cleaned up all of your social media pages. So I would say for people looking to jump into the social media game, stay consistent, stay on brand, and just make it pretty.
Yep. I mean, I've always been on social media and posting, but Joey took everything and streamlined it. Like you said, he really took it to the next level. Yeah.
Kept the same logo in there. And you get people to share, and that's what it is. It's called social media. So That's the whole point, is for people to get social and share what everybody else is doing. So our guest today, I actually, when I found her services and what she does in her beautiful, beautiful store, that her and her business partner share a space. Her business partner is a therapist, and she owns a beautiful design shop. And I found her through another friend on social media. And she has a great social media presence. I bought a couple head warmers because she had posted them on social media. So I want to talk a little bit about her journey and kind of some unique things that they have done together in their space as a shop, how they're pivoting right now, and just kind of dig in deep. Their shop is local, right in Wayne, Pennsylvania. So without further ado, I would like to bring out Paige and Dina.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Very excited to have two guests today.
Yeah, I think it's smart. I think it's great because it kind of showcases that you guys do share a space together, which is great, because it's not just, it's Christine Shirley Design, which part of me, before I met you and my niece told me when they went to your camp, I thought your name was Christine.
Everybody does. So I answer to Christine. I do not answer to Shirley. But people that have known me for years are still calling me Christine. So I just let it ride. Like sometimes I correct them, sometimes I don't really care.
I know the story behind it, but I kept, because Christine Shirley. I would think your name is Christine Shirley because your shop is called Christine Shirley Designs. Tell us where, I know, but tell everybody else where the Christine and where the Shirley came from.
Sure. So my middle name is Christine. The street that I grew up on was Shirley Drive. So I should have been something else with my career with that name, but I chose not to be. I don't know what our audience is here, so I'm not going to say it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So I had a weird feeling about naming a business after myself. I felt like you only really do that when you're big time, like Kate Spade, Tory Burch, like they're the who's who, they're the names that you know. And I was just like this little like micro business that was trying to be something. So I just created the alias and kept it and love it.
It works though. I mean, I think it's super cute. You have your little CS with your little wreath around it, your little logo. I think it's adorable. And I found you, like I had said, through a friend of a friend. And then it ended up in my daughter and my niece going to one of your camps in the summertime. And I try to come into your store limited because I just want to buy everything.
All right, girl, don't do that. You better keep coming back so we can stay open
when this is all over. So, okay. So give us the lowdown, Paige and Dina, both of you guys. I know, Paige, that you were not always self-employed and then jumped to Dina. Like, did you always have your own practice like you do now? Tell us a little bit about both you guys.
You can go first.
I have been self-employed since graduate school, since graduating with accounting degree, but I also simultaneously worked for companies. So, but most of my career I've had my own business, and I love that most. And I've worked for companies that I've enjoyed and have had good experiences, have had challenging experiences. But ultimately in this stage of my life, I'm thrilled to be on my own.
So a quick question for you in that is that, did you like kind of outsource, like almost like 1099 yourself out to other companies to kind of subsidize until you could be full-fledged your own boss? Because we have a lot of guests that do that. Like they do other things or they work other jobs. And then as soon as they hit that pivotal point where it's not as scary, they're like, okay, now I'm not doing that other work anymore.
Right. I'm not that organized. So I didn't really know that that's what was happening. So I kind of just fell into opportunities that happened. People would say, can you counsel here? And can you work here at a doctor's office and a church and just different places? And I said, sure. That's because I like to help people. So that's where the counseling side of me comes in. And most counselors aren't entrepreneurs and business owners. So
right.
I didn't even know that I could run a business, and I don't even know if I'm doing it well. I know that I can counsel, I can help people, but I am not good at like the admin side and paying my taxes all the time, like on time. Like I'm just constantly kind of like, oh my gosh, did I have to, like really important things that matter. And
they want this 4 times a year. Who do they think they are?
Like, okay, yeah. All right. So anyway, the times I stepped out and worked for companies, I would kind of hang up my hat somewhat, to my self-employment, but ultimately I wanted to make it work. So for me was like, this has to happen somehow. So there were times that I didn't have any money, and there were times that I didn't know how I was going to pay the bills. And
I think we've all been there because it's not a paycheck every other week. It's
right.
like, and people always say that like because I work straight commission. So sometimes I get a lot of commissions, big ones, and then nothing. And people are like, if I had a check for that much money in my hand, I'd be like, who's going to Disney World?
Right.
Like, you can't do that. Like,
yeah,
exactly. Can't do that when you're self-employed.
But six years later, you're still here. So kudos to you girls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Paige, so you didn't start out with your shop, right? You started out working for other companies, correct?
Well, I have a hustler's heart. So I've been hustling forever, like in various ways. So when I was a kid, I had a scrunchie business, and I like just made all these things that I thought were beautiful that my mom would sell to her.
I have a scrunchie on my wrist right now.
I just have always loved to create. So, and I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, but coming out of college, it was like, with a fashion degree, good luck, like trying your own thing right off the bat. So without consciously realizing it, after graduation, I was like, if I'm going to have to work for people, I'm going to pick the best in the field. So I got a job with an amazing retail company that I learned a ton, built my resume with them. And then, I worked for them for 8 years. And then by the time I was like kind of done, I was doing my own art shows, formulating my own business. I left there to go work for one of the best restaurants around to fine tune like my management style and just understanding more from like the financial business side, not so much the creative side, but still building this business. So always knowing, like, I'm that person who you were talking about, like I always knew, and I'm not organized at all, but I always knew, like, I am not going to work for someone forever, but I need to learn everything I need to know from these really great companies to then get all my little nuts to then move on to my own thing. So at my restaurant job, I just started as a server, became the GM. That was my last job that I had full time before taking the leap. And I just got to the point where I started demoting myself. Like I said, I don't want to be the GM anymore. I'll work 4 days a week. Then I would demote myself to like 3 days a week to like nothing. And that's when I was like, all right, let's go. And
like a slow progression.
And how did you find your shop where you're in right now?
Well, that's a funny story. I years ago saw this space and was like, I want that. And I didn't know what, I didn't know how. And it's the smallest retail space, honestly, around.
It works. You make it work though. I mean,
it's precious and it is perfect for us. Yeah. But one day I wasn't in a position to rent anything. And Dina and I had, discussed potentially going in on space together. And one day I was driving to work and I look over and this little space is up for rent. And it was rush hour on Lancaster Avenue in the middle of Wayne. I stopped my car dead in the street. I was like, I don't care about any of you. You can
honk, move it.
I don't care. I was like, what's the number? Like, I had the camera out, zooming in on my camera to see the number to call them, like, in the middle of the street. And Dina was out of town. And I was like, girl, this might be ours. Yeah. So I met with the landlord's, like, real estate dude, maybe the next day or then following day. And it worked out. And truthfully, we were just saying today, like, our landlord, who just recently passed away, was seriously one of the primary reasons that we are even able to do this, because he gave us a shot and we didn't have any of the credentials that you would need in real life to get a commercial space.
It sounds like even if you guys did have them, they weren't organized. You guys were like, bank statements, profit and loss.
Who knows where?
He just had a heart for us, and he gave us a shot. And he bless his soul, because he gave us some of the most amazing reviews to other people who we've needed like personal references and stuff. Like, he's really helped us grow. So for me, it was calculated risk taking. Now I'm much more like, we both are actually. We're much more open to risk taking because we've built our own confidence in ourselves and we have complete confidence in each other. So now we're just like, let's go. And if if something doesn't work, like, who cares? Like, whatever.
You guys are doing multiple locations. So I saw one of your goals is to be down in Florida.
Well, we did that.
Yeah. So you spent what, a whole 1 or 2 months down in Florida right before all this happened? Yeah. And then you were about to open up Stone Harbor.
Yeah. And then, before that, there's this, so the space we have now is like super adorable, but the space that we had last year in Devon is like
the horse show. That's right.
Yeah, so there is this it's so perfect. This little cottage that used to be a gas station that they renovated. And I had my eye on that for probably 9 or 10 years. The lady who owned it, she didn't want to rent it, renovate it, fix it, sell it, nothing. It just sat there. Long story short, somebody picked it up, fixed it. And Dina and I were like, this is just on my bucket list, but like Dina and I would go along for each other's ride. So we're like, that's it. We're going to get it. We're going to open a store. She's going to have a counseling office. Like, check. And then we closed it in a year because we decided we didn't want it. But it was like, we just have to check things off our list. And if it doesn't
we have
work,
to try things.
Totally.
And it's good that you have somebody. I think it's important. So my brother has his comedy club in Royersford, and I help him from time to time, like, when it's open, and we do charity shows. But it's always good to have somebody that and you trust, and it's typically Joel, Joey, and I, the three of us, and somebody that you really know well. You trust them to be like in it with you, because you can. It's more fun. I think it's more fun to know that you're in it with somebody than to be doing it alone.
Yeah, we're super fun.
Yeah.
I'm more fun than you are, but
Yeah, we got that vibe.
We generally say yes to each other's ideas, which it's worked out for us. For some people you would need a balance, but we both are visionaries, so we both want to. And we're not afraid to like make really big mistakes. So we're not afraid to like try something and fail and then say like, okay, this didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year, our theme of last year was like, we changed our mind. Like we tried this, we didn't really like it. It didn't work. It could have worked. We don't care. We're moving on.
Well, that's okay too, because I do remember now seeing that you had posted pictures, and tours of that space, but a lot of people would let their ego get in the way and say, oh my God, we can't close this. We already posted it on our social media. We already advertised it. But you guys said, you know what? Forget it. Like, this is not an income producing activity. We're not feeling it. We're going to shut that door.
Cut your losses.
Yeah.
Totally. And people also have a tendency to draw their own conclusions. So, we see businesses closing all the time. And a lot of us are like, maybe they it's this or maybe that, or maybe, like, no, not with us. We're going to tell you flat out that this didn't work. That was great. This could have been better. And we're moving on. And then
you learn from it.
Right. And there's no like wondering or discussion and then you just leave your ego to the side and you just keep it going. So it's worked for us.
Yeah, you have to put your ego aside. That's so important when you're self-employed, because if you let that ego get in the way, you'll fall flat on your face. So everything that I've kind of followed along with you and seen you do, and I knew about Dina when you mentioned her, because I know that you always mention Dina and you guys work together. Your social media presence, which I think is fantastic. You take pretty pictures, you post a lot. It's all relevant. Tell us a little bit about, because it's time consuming, right? So is that you guys posting all of that? Is that like, do you have somebody who does that? Like,
no,
just you guys.
Yeah, it's me on business page, and then Dina always shares whatever I post. So she helps get the, a broader audience. But to be honest with you, I feel like our Christine Shirley Instagram and social media is really far behind what it should be for how long we've been doing this. So I struggle with like taking the time to probably do classes or learn about algorithms. Like, what the frick is an algorithm? Like, I know what it is, but like learning these things to like really catapult your business as far as social media goes. Like, even our mask endeavor, like, truthfully, we believe that God took this project in his hands, was like, poof, send it to the world, because we got on the project early, which I think was really beneficial. And we got some incredible press really quickly before everyone and their mother was making masks. But social media is what really drove that, like,
well, yours are beautiful too. Like the fabrics that you're using. I mean, Lily Pulitzer fabrics and, a bunch of other textiles that you might not, higher end ones, but you guys have remnants, which you can make masks out of the remnants. So tell us how many approximately, and how many hours a day are you guys working, and how many masks are you making a day? Your dad's helping you too, right?
So my dad has cut 30,000 pieces of fabric. My dad is 70 years old, and he has committed. I mean,
well, we know where you get your hustle from.
Yeah, my dad hustles hard. He, but our whole clan of people, like Dina's family, my family, people that I used to work with, have come out of the woodwork to help. My like just crazy amounts of connections of people like have really turned out to help. And we have, between our donations and our like our sales of people buying them, we've made about 15 to 16,000 masks in 60 days. And for the first couple weeks, honestly, it was me sewing, my full-time employee Haley, and our other angel sewer Georgia, the three of us.
And show everybody your hand.
Busted hand.
Yeah. From car accident right before this all happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really challenging. And there were a lot of days that I was just like, girl, I don't know about this. Like, I've been through some very stressful things in my life, but the pressure of being like this little mini business to having thousands, and Dina can talk about it on her end because we just experienced it all together, but you just become like the subject of some people's frustrations, and people don't.
This is not what I thought, and or it's just not like,
yeah. I mean, we met a need. It was like it was such a learning experience because we met a need with a very beautiful, very well-made product, and we committed to this for 62 days, 16 to 18 hours a day.
That's a lot of masks. I mean, I can't even, the time that it takes and how nice they are. And Dina, you're a therapist by trade, but do you sew or do you mail them out, or what's your
I'm an amateur seamstress, so
me too.
Family, because they didn't mind if they were crooked, but I know it pretty early on. Paige was like, "No, you can't sew. There's too many to make," and I was like, "Okay."
And she right. was hurt. Like her feelings were hurt for like a second. Totally. She's like, I can't sew.
I want to help the nation with face masks, but very quickly I realized, I'm not going to sit at a machine all day. And so I ended up sitting at a computer all day, which is absolutely not what I normally do. And creating, well, we weren't even set up for this because we don't have an online presence for products. So I had to help get our website situated, which I didn't know how to do. And then our website got shut down because they said we were price gouging and we weren't.
What?
So that
shut it down.
Like 48 hours.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Down.
Boom. So
that's horrible.
Then I had to create an Excel spreadsheet, which I am not good at Excel. I don't think like Excel. And I've lived in Excel for 60 days, and all the inventory and the shipping and packing and figuring all that out, and customer service. So all the communications with social media and emails, texts, and phone calls. I had the phone with me 24/7.
When you realize how much you love being a therapist, right?
Oh my God.
Not for you.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, no.
I have learned so much in this because it's helpful, right? To portions of businesses that I wouldn't like. I've had staff before that I have now experienced what it was like when they were working for me in this role. And it's helped me a ton. I said to Paige so many times, like, that's what they meant when they felt this way. And, like, so as a leader and a manager, I feel like I'm going to take that with me. But dealing with people's frustration and them thinking we're a fake company. I had a lady call me and she said, "Are you real?" And I was like, "What? Excuse me?" And she said, "Are you real?" I'm like, "Real as in not fake?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Oh, I'm real. Yeah, I'm real. What else do you need?"
Yeah.
Because they thought we were a scam and
literally calling us a scam. Like we were texting people pictures of ourselves.
Like, "I'll tell you our whole story. What do you want to know?"
Yeah.
Which is
Your
fine.
name's not Christine or Shirley. Are you real?
Dina and Paige. It was just fascinating we were in such a bubble. We didn't know how much people were getting scammed and how long shipping was taking for everyone ordering everywhere. And, it was trial by fire. I said to Paige many times, we're building the plane while it's flying. And the fact that it worked and we sent 15,000 masks out and people were happy. And like, we just read to each other all the encouraging emails, people that took the time to say that they were happy with our product and our
service. You did a lot of donations too. Like you donated coats to nursing homes and you donated face masks to people. And so in there, not only a hustler's heart, but also like a servant's heart with both
it's
you
like
guys.
Out of us, really. Like our hearts are just like they are. I mean, it's really truly why our businesses work together and why we're friends, because we love to help people. So
And I think you have to have that when you're self-employed. You have to have that, whatever you do. And we talk about that almost on every episode, because everybody who comes on says that like they love what they do. Like I love finding people their dream home or a house for their family where they cry when they find it. Or like Joel, when he puts on a comedy show, he loves making people laugh because it's therapeutic. People might have just lost a child a couple months ago, or they're a widow, and they come up to Joel and they're like, coming to your show, I haven't laughed that hard in over a year since like my spouse passed. So like, and for you guys, seeing what you're doing and seeing people happy and getting the thank you so much, like forget all the people that want to complain. Like they can just go take a hike because everybody wants to complain, but getting that gratitude and that thank you, and seeing people in the nursing home and their cozy coats that you made, like that's what it's all about.
One of the people in the emails, they would like a theme that was recurring was just them pouring out their struggle and why they needed the mask and what their marriage was like in the midst of this and their health issues and how much that's why it mattered that the 15-day window of shipping was too long. And so then the counselor side of me would come out and Paige would be like, you just dumped a whole paragraph, didn't you? Because I just
this long.
Like, what do you need? How can we help? I'm so sorry that happened to you. And you
want to jump on a Zoom call with me later?
Right. Like one lady wrote back, she was in tears because her son had, was immunocompromised and we didn't make children's masks. We were going to figure out a way to get her the right mask with sharks on it because he would like that.
And we did.
We always have combined care and community and creativity. Like that's partly how this idea of working together sparked. Because
I like that. Is that like your mission statement? I like that. Care, creativity, and community.
They're just our buzzwords, I guess. But
I don't think what is it called? A lexicon?
I don't know.
She's so good with words.
No.
I, on the other hand, am not good with words.
We don't even have a mission statement, I don't think.
Yes,
but
we do.
Do we?
We're super professional.
We're super organized. Anyway, we would go to dinner and like meet with people, and the waitresses and the managers and servers would sit with us, waiters, waitresses, and that's how we realized this chemistry we had together was magnetic. And people would just sit for 2 hours, close the restaurant down, and she would counsel them. I would like be counseling all day, and then Paige would start asking them a million questions, and they're telling their whole story and crying. So that's what happens here in our store. Like my clients will walk in, they'll shop in the retail space, and then they'll have a counseling session, and then they'll leave. So
retail therapy, real therapy.
Yeah.
And just combine the two.
Fascinating. So my clients become her customers become my clients. And we've actually hired several of my clients during this mask project. And it just is always all intertwined somehow. And people come and they stay a while. They'll be here 20, 30, 40 minutes and just share their heart, and they feel loved. Like we're the neighborhood store. There's a little bell on our
We're
door.
the tree house. I call it tree house.
It's adorable. I mean, if you guys, so tell people where they can find you guys on Facebook, Instagram, where your shop's located, that kind of stuff.
So we are right on Lancaster Avenue in Wayne, like pretty much in the center of Wayne. We have a sewing studio and a shop side by side, 104 and 104.5 East Lancaster. So 2 turquoise awnings side by side. Our shop is on one side, our studio is on the other. Instagram is Christine Shirley Designs, and then website is ChristineShirleyDesigns.com.
And if they need some therapy right now, people are needing some therapy, I think.
Yeah. Mine's just my name at Dina Previty and at Instagram, and then DinaPrevity.com.
Well, and I think Dina's statement, going back earlier, you could tell just in this short little interview how not only your friendship but your business partnership works out so well. You're like, I didn't know Excel, I didn't know our website, but Paige is out there sewing with one hand for 16 hours a day. This is the least I could do to bring to the table.
Yeah,
it's all going to work out for you.
We love each other. Like we laugh and we have fun, and like the friendship fuels the fury of don't stop, don't sleep, don't go home, just keep working. And we're happy to do it.
It is crazy. Like people are ordering from us from Japan, Switzerland,
wow.
That's
Canada.
wild. So crazy to think about.
And the people who know our space when they come in, like they understand that, like how humble our spaces are. Like we're not working with robots here. Like
you're not running a warehouse with a sweatshop.
No, like our shipping department is this big. Like literally at the beginning of this, every single thing that could break broke. Everything. Old systems, new systems, machines, equipment, our hearts are just like broke. And we still figured it out. Like we just muscled through, and it's unbelievable. Like the power of just go, like just keep, you got this, like just keep on going, one-handed, don't know how to do half of anything, like just keep on going.
We sold to 48 states. The only 2 states we didn't get, because we should have the map right in front to show you. It's colored in.
Wait, I'll be right back.
Every time we got a new state, I would like pull the report every night of where people, you know, of our customers. And then we'd be like, we got Idaho, we got whatever. So we didn't get.
We got Idaho, finally.
We got Idaho.
They're not just potatoes.
Wait,
No.
so what are those two? That's
Wyoming and North Dakota.
did they? What the heck? Do we know anybody?
Seriously.
Phone a friend in North Dakota.
We were
What's
like
up?
hashtagging Wyoming. But
If anybody in Wyoming and North Dakota, you need to order a mask from Christine Shirley Design. All right,
Yeah.
go find them.
That's
we got
wild.
Alaska, we got Hawaii.
Guam. We sent to Guam.
Our
Where that
our
was.
stepbrother and his family. He's the commanding officer on a nuclear submarine. They live in Guam.
Maybe
Did
it was
he buy
him.
it?
I don't know. What possibly could have been. I'll have to ask them.
One of the favorite parts of our day is like at the end of the night, seeing who had ordered that day and coloring our map like we're in 2nd grade. But
That's so cool. I'm so glad you guys shared that with us. That's so neat.
It's a fun
Thank you.
fact.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys, that's normally, I mean, you know, Dina, like you said, you're still doing therapy for people. It's teletherapy. Paige, you normally create beautiful textiles and scrunchies and headbands, and you have accessories in your shop, and you do in-person camps for children. You do like design camps, fashion camps. And obviously this is not the norm, but I think the people that are not only surviving but thriving right now are doing what you guys are doing.
Well, we just shipped it again yesterday. Like we just, in the midst of all of this, we just posted our first summer session of virtual camps.
Oh, you are doing the virtual camps. I
Yeah.
saw you post about it, and I asked my daughter on a walk the other night. I'm like, "Do you want to do it?" She goes, "What's it going to be like?" I'm like,
It is going to be bananas. Like, so our camps are really fun anyway because we're fun, but
Right.
and they're just creative. And there's certain things that I just enforce. Like, I just enforce really important, of course, life skills, but just the way to like treat people and clean
Oh,
up.
and you said that you made her take out her stitches on something and redo it because it wasn't right. She goes,
Oh yeah,
Paige was a little tough today. She goes, so,
I just want
that's life. That's
I
life.
want kids to understand that things are not going to be perfect, but I also want kids to understand that if it's not perfect, like if you can make it better, don't just leave it at like, okay, if you can make it better. I'm not a perfectionist, and I like that about myself. And I want and I have a lot of kids who have some challenges with being a perfectionist. And it's just like, I need you to understand that you're not perfect, and it's not going to be perfect, but
You have to
there's
do your best.
yes,
You can do
like,
better, do better.
right. And there's just life skills that I like to teach kids through these camps that we may lose a bit of with the virtual camps. But I have some incredible ideas for like Project Runway Camp, theme days on camp, like run upstairs into your bedroom. We're going to do an interior design class on how to renovate your whole room. Parents are going to love me. And just, like, there's really cool things that we can do. We knock the price down to make it, more manageable for families.
So did you post that already, or are you
Posted? All the supplies are going to be included. They're going to be available for contactless pickup here at our studio, or we can ship to whoever.
Awesome.
Like, we're just we can do it, and I'm trying to make it something that kids are going to look forward to. Because right now, what are we looking forward to?
That's what Joel's doing. He's going to start try to do. We did one last Friday. He did an outdoor comedy show on a porch.
Awesome.
Cool.
Like we just need stuff like that. So spread the word, please. Appreciate.
Yes.
Yes, we'll definitely share it. So I want to ask one last question to both of you. Joel and I both have little tag phrases that we came up with, and his is be undeniable, and mine is never give up. If you both individually had to like a whole room of 10,000 people and they said, go out there, Paige, go out there, Dina, and say like one line or, a couple words to people, what would your like tagline be? What would your catchphrase be?
You can go.
Mine would be no regrets.
There you go.
Good one.
Mine would be keep going.
I like
Yeah.
that. You kind of said
Keep
that
going.
along the way, like keep swimming, keep
This is like-
going.
Just my whole life. Just like keep going.
Mhm.
You will be fine. Just keep it going.
I love that. Well, this so you guys at Dina Privity, how do you spell your last name, Dina, for people listening?
P is in Paul, R-E, V is in Victor, I, T is in Thomas, I.
We
So
didn't practice that.
No.
No, not at all.
And the
At
last
Dina Privity and Christine Shirley Designs.
Mhm.
Find her on Facebook and Instagram. If you need therapy, hit up Dina. And if you need some masks or camp for your kids, I can attest. My niece and my daughter have both gone to her camp, and she's wonderful. And then check out when her studio reopens. Go in and check it out because you can get a lot of great stuff. If you're a shopper, gifts for people, accessories, whatever you need. And I am Deanna Kozak, and this is Joel Richardson of Soul Joel's
We got
Comedy.
Idaho.
Yay!
No, Wyoming,
Wyoming.
No, we
North
need
Dakota.
those two.
And Wyoming.
Thank
North
you.
Dakota. And
Thank you so
thank you
much.
guys for tuning in. This has been EAF.
Thank you for tuning in to Entrepreneurs Fuck. To stay up to date on future shows, follow Soul Joel TV on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. See you next time, and always remember, respect the hustle.